These sponsors are proud to be associated with the Seven Network's coverage of the 1994 AFL Premiership season.
Hello, welcome to Friday Night Football from the MCG, the commencement of round 19. It's North Melbourne and Footscray. It should be a terrific match. Both teams in excellent form. North have won their last two. Footscray have won 5 out of their last 6. As we take a look at the ladder and we see that North Melbourne in 3rd position, Footscray could go above Hawthorn tonight with a win. They would. They wouldn't be able to displace North Melbourne unless they won by a very, very large margin indeed. Gerard Healy, welcome to the telecast tonight. It should be an outstanding match.
And a big test, I think, for both sides. Are North Melbourne a genuine premiership contender? And are Footscray a genuine finalist? I think that, yes to both cases. But I would expect North Melbourne to go away with this because I don't think Footscray can kick enough goals. Even in their game last week against Collingwood, where they totally dominated, they still only kicked the 13 goals.
Big change tonight. McAdam not playing for North Melbourne. Campbell's come in.
Yes, a late change, and Campbell will go down into a forward line, I think, that'll be too strong for Footscray, with Allison, Nichols, Campbell, Carey, and, of course, Longmire. But Glenn Archer's important, as is Mick Martin, because they'll probably match up Richard Osborne and Chris Grant. And if North Melbourne can keep Footscray at a relatively low score, they should have no problem getting over the top of them.
Atkins back in some sort of form. Grant could be the key to Footscray.
Yes, well, Chris Grant really has come along in leaps and bounds this season under the new coach, Alan Joyce. But I think also the fact that he's playing at full forward is a real boost for them. And he, along with Richard Osborne, up in that full forward line, if they're on song, they'll be hard to stop. The form of the 3 players highlighted last week was exceptional. Danny Southern will probably get the job on Carey,
who starred the last time these two teams played one another. Crowd, to be honest, a bit disappointing at this stage. 25,000 maybe, but building up. It should be a magnificent contest. Back with the opening bounce after this. Year-old Warren Campbell back for his first match since round 14 in the seniors for North Melbourne. Well, the big dipper on the boundary line. Dipper, in the last 10 minutes, it feels like the temperature's dropped about 5 degrees and the breeze might have blown around.
It certainly has, Bruce, and good evening to you and the boys. I can smell a bit of rain, but maybe we'll get that rain after half-time. As you said before, what a terrific game tonight we are about to see. And, of course, it's like a title fight, isn't it? 2 real contenders for this AFL Premiership. If North can win tonight, can say to Carlton and the Eagles, move over, we're coming as well. And for me, Bruce, I think that North Melbourne will win tonight because of their forward line. Of course, Carey Longmire playing terrific football. And for the bench for North Melbourne, Trent Nichols and Alison Clarkson and also Warren Campbell. And for Footscray, Reynolds, Dougie Hawkins and Jason Watts.
Good on you, Dipper. Look forward to working with you again tonight. And to you too, Robbo. Welcome to Friday Night Football.
Yeah, terrific, Bruce. North Melbourne and Footscray. I've been looking forward to this since they played earlier in the season. I saw the game out at the Western Oval when that man in picture, Wayne Carey, who has as his opponent at the moment anyway, Steve Crediuk. What a job for Steve Crediuk. But Carey kicked 6 goals in that game, and North Melbourne only fell over the line, in my opinion, so this will be a terrific clash.
Gerard Grant right up the field at centre-half forward for the first bounce.
Yes, just a tactic, perhaps just to unsettle the North Melbourne defence. They would have expected him to play into right deep into the forward line, but perhaps also trying to drag Mick Martin away from the goal square.
Start of the match, Friday Night Football at the MCG. North Melbourne, Footscray. 3 plays, 5 on the ladder. Round 19 commences. Schenko goes with Grigic. Grigic, the glove one. First kick of the match goes to Rock. It's a high ball going about 20 metres towards the forward line. Quill was underneath it, unable to get a kick away. Going off the ground with Schwass, looking for a free kick, and he'll get it. An inspirational player. Johnson got a kick early there for Footscray in his second match.
And there you see it on screen, but in the goal square for North Melbourne, you've got both Carey and Longmire both on the lead.
Scholl took it from Schwass, goes in long to centre half forward. Liberatore got a hand on it. Now Quill from half back. Goes with the left foot. Not a good kick. Scholl in the right spot takes the mark clearly. Played his 100th a couple of weeks ago. What a fine player. State of origin player this year.
And did well in that match over in Adelaide also. That mark is taken by Southern at centre half back. A Dow defender, Danny Southern. His kick not that well directed, but it's picked off the pack by Grant. Grant's kick in towards full forward. Out in front is Osborne, giving Archer something to chase, but can't control the football, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in. It's about 50 metres from the Footscray goal. Richard Osborne jogging back to his position. He looks as though he may be playing it on that full forward line. Schenko and Grigic. The ball 50 metres from Footscray's goal, and the umpire will call for a bounce. The umpires are Coates, Russo and McKernan for this big clash between North Melbourne and Footscray.
Schenko and Grigic again. McPherson. Good take by McPherson. Quills, long ball, too full forward. It's going to get right to the square. Bouncing ball, goal. Unbelievable. The extraordinary goal from nowhere. Peter Quill with the opening goal of the match.
He is a very, very good ball getter, Peter Quill. And it's amazing that he does start a lot of matches on the interchange bench. Some good football by McPherson, but Quill's kick got good distance across his body, and then the awkward bounce favouring the Bulldogs to get the first goal. So good start by the Scraggers. Schenko and Grigic. Schenko gets his left hand to it. Hand pass by McKernan. Blakey, too short. West chops it off for the Scraggers. Away goes Mark Hunter. The short kick finds McPherson. Footscray with maybe a slight breeze at their back. That smother was terrific by Stevens. He goes after the football, grabbed by McPherson. Ball spills free. Collinuk gathers. Slippery little hand pass to Liberatore. Liberatore's kick across his right shoulder. Nearly marked there by Stanfield. He's hemmed in by Laidley. Desperate stuff now by the North Melbourne defence. It's Ross Smith to clear the ball back in the McKernan direction. Taken away by Johnson, but the umpires found a free kick, and it will go to the up-and-coming young star in McKernan.
Looks for Carey at centre half forward. It's a good kick. Carey was always in the box seat there. Crediok giving him a metre, playing off him. Longmire provides the lead. Carey goes for goal. A booming kick right to the goal square. Great kick by Carey. Touched, and it's a free kick is it to Footscray. No score.
But just goes to show the value of having those tall players for North Melbourne, when you can get a guy like McKernan, a centre half forward type, to then take it on the wing and kick it long to another centre half forward in Carey.
Now Rock centering kick. Ramiro gets underneath it, keeps his eye on it. Couldn't take the mark. Atkins got it away. Croft turn was okay. Handball out. Cameron, the best and fairest last year, to the bloke that won it 3 years ago in Liberatore. A wobbly kick, fairly attacks it. Couldn't take it cleanly. Scholl's handball missed its mark. Laidley's there. Pressure acute in the early stages of this match as Laidley goes towards the boundary line and finds it. Remembering that Footscray are leading in the early stages. A long bomb from Quill after a couple of minutes as we look at Nichols and Campbell, a couple of the interchange players, along with Clarkson. It's 10 at the moment in Melbourne. It's going to be cold tonight. Expected low. They say hail tomorrow. Let's hope not too much rain tonight.
North Melbourne forced the ball up towards their half-forward area, taken by Carey. A good kick too under the circumstances. Hook kick under pressure was terrific by the captain, and it's been marked by their other leader on the forward line, John Longmire, and he has a chance to level the scores. Longmire is only about 25 metres out. Very, very slight angle. And he should kick this, and he does. But John Longmire kicks his first goal for North Melbourne and scores a level early in the first quarter.
Yeah, some good signs obviously there for North Melbourne with one of their key forwards getting on the board, and another one of their keys, perhaps the linchpin, Carey, getting the ball down to him. That's a couple of kicks now for Carey. And Longmire just that little bit too quick for Croft.
Scores level at the MCG, a goal apiece. Longmire, Quill, the goal scorer. Swash went without it. Fairley's quick kick to centre half forward. Oh, good grab by McKernan. There's so much to like about this young fellow. He's normally a booming kick too.
Not a bad size for half forward flank.
Short to Longmire, good kick, and finds him. Well, it's almost like playing two twin centre half forwards with McKernan alongside Carey, isn't it?
Well, he's got tremendous ability, Corey McKernan, and well, we did get the tip over the summer. I mean, Dennis Pagan was quite prepared to say that Corey McKernan could be the biggest thing that hit footy this year, and he's nearly living up to it.
Longmire for his second, good kick, he's got it. He's kicked 6 goals or better on 4 occasions this year, Longmire, after a slow start to the season. And he has had a fast start tonight, Gerard Healy.
He certainly has, and the best kick, of course, was this one there from McKernan. Point of interest to note at the next centre bounce is that Atkins is staying out of the centre square. He's in fact running to the back pocket and is picking up Blakey. So one of the best guns for Footscray is not in the centre bounce. What a start to Longmire, though.
So the umpire restarts play, and Eschenko could have nearly been declared as giving away a free kick there, I thought. Grigic goes after the football. Oh, down goes Grant. And Big Eschenko exerting his authority around the packs there near the centre circle. And the umpire will bounce. Michael Martin and Chris Grant just drifting out of picture there. And the bounce will take place. It's really chilled up in the last half an hour or so here at the MCG, but still pretty good conditions for football. Grigic does well for a big fellow. Kicks the ball in towards full forward. Awkward bounce again. North Melbourne will repel. It's Ross Smith, gets it out to Stevens. Stevens kicks quickly. Close to the line it bounces. Still inside the field of play. And completely deceived Mark Hunter. The ball spills back for West. He gets it across to Hunter. Hunter's kick towards the 50-metre line. Marking contest, no. There was no contest. It's John Blakey in front of the pack to take a safe mark for North Melbourne. He runs away from half-back and kicks it towards half-forward.
Carey the target. Crediuk's big thump from the back. Missed by Johnson, taken by West. He's had a very good second season. Good grab by McPherson. Only his 3rd game for the year. Missed most of last year with a knee injury along with Steve Wallace. McPherson from the heart of the centre square. Looking for Osborne on a lead. Got a bad bounce. Archer's little one away. Dribbled it towards the boundary line. Quill and Scholl. Scholl happy to see it go out and out of play. Here's the Footscray bench with Doug Hawkins sitting alongside Jason Watts was there, and also Barry Stanfield. 17-10 to 14-15 the last time they met. North winning. Carey kicked 6 that day. I think that was a day that he was reported, and the report was taken out before the tribunal hearing that night. Scotty Wine, who was on 7 News tonight. 5-2 on North Melbourne. 13-8 Footscray. Lopsided odds here. North favourites in a real live game. Southern from centre wing. Goes long and high to centre half for Grigic between a couple. Good spoil from the back, too strong for Atkins. King okay to Martin. Martin back, a bouncing ball. Ramiro goes, oh, Carey's hip and shoulder was a beauty to get rid of Hunter. Ramiro's quick hands. The handball over the top by Allison. Blakey's outside 50, gives Longmire a bit of a hope. If it bounces, he'll be in the box seat. Can kick goals in this situation, Longmire. Goes for the handball, Allison. Well, he likes these situations as well. Southern to get back. Oh, it's a goal! No, bounce all over the place.
Didn't it ever?
Sorry about that, chaps. Longmire goes back, Carey goes for goal, and has the captain done it? Of course he has. Oh, Gerard, I'd like 5-2 on its early days, but Carey and Longmire, there's a feeling here already, isn't there?
Yes, but good work there by John Blakey, who was a good 100 metres away from Atkins. He left Atkins on the Footscray half-forward line. And a point of note interest there is that when the ball is spinning end over end so quickly, almost invariably the first bounce is a high one.
So 3 goals to North Melbourne, 1 to Footscray. Grigic forces it clear of the centre circle congestion. Martin's kick off the ground, not quite far enough out of the reach of Grant. Terrific play by Chris Grant to get it back to Liberatore in the direction of Stanfield, but he's beaten for it by Fairley. Fairley at centre half back for North Melbourne, kicks to half forward and brilliantly taken by McKernan. Skills. You wouldn't believe it. King takes the hand pass, kicks to Longmire, and ominous signs for the Bulldogs early in this game.
Definitely look too tall across the half-forward line, and if they keep bringing the ball in so easily, we're in for a bit of an embarrassment for Footscray, but they are a talented and workman-like side. They'll probably fight back, one would hope. They just made to make a change, an interchange here with Keenan Reynolds, it looks like, coming on for Peter Quill.
Longmire goes for his third, but gets a little bit too close to the man on the mark there. Hooks the kick through for 1 behind.
And this will just be really to even up the size. North Melbourne too tall with too many options at the moment in that forward line.
Reynolds marks the kick in. So Footscray out of that full back line a little bit too easily. It's Krediuk.
Centre wing goes to half forward. Grigic was the target. Again, a bouncing footy with Ross Smith having an excellent year as he did it last year. Fairly caught, goes to the boundary line. Footscray supporters yell out, holding the footy, but a throw in.
I gave you a bit of a mislead there before, Bruce, saying that Stanfield was on the bench. It was Keenan Reynolds. I'm sorry about that.
Stanfield across half forward, and that's where Footscray having a few problems, aren't they? Grant unable to impose himself as yet on the game, and yet McKernan and Carey are doing so well at the other end.
And the big value, of course, of having McKernan there is he's from the half-forward flank. He's down now on the back flank taking the ruck work, which allows Ishenko just to mooch around half-back, blocking up any lead in the forward line.
McKernan doing that bit of work. Quick kick by Stevens. Rock onto it. Got the first kick of the game. Gets that one. Carey, Krediuk. Good contest, this one. Going hard, Krediuk. Carey in pursuit. Cameron's... well, the hip and shoulder not bad. That wasn't by Cameron, by Costa. And gave the Footscray defender a chance in Krediuk to run it out. Jose Romero, who was very good in the last quarter against Hawthorn last week.
Boundary throw in, left half forward for North Melbourne. The ruck work being done by McKernan, trying to get it down in the direction of Schwass, tackled by Costa. But the umpire quickly on the scene and will effect a bounce. North Melbourne 3-1. Footscray a 1 goal. That goal coming from Peter Quill in the early minutes of this first quarter. The reserves, North Melbourne won by 37 points, 17-21 to Footscray 13-8. McKernan puts his left hand on the shoulder there of Croft, so Croft will take the free kick at half-back for the Bulldogs. Yeah, West looking for, sorry, Jared.
Keenan Reynolds has gone to full-back. West has come out onto McKernan.
West taking the hand pass. Good effort by Grant, nearly getting a second grab at it, but the ball held in by the North Melbourne defenders between left half-back and the centre of the ground, just in Footscray's forward half. Some of the crowd rucked up, as we've already mentioned, a little cool. First quarter, North Melbourne 3-1, Footscray are a goal. Kick clear by Rock.
High ball, tough one to take. Hunter kept his eye on it very well. Played by Grant, but again cut off by King. North Melbourne are playing great footy early. Oh, King running too far.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Big call by the umpire, wasn't it? He swept out a left-hand handball. Stanfield, free kick, goes to fall forward. Osborne never got into the act. Archer, in fact, spoiled Ishenko. Smith has been excellent early to Laidley. Laidley measures it, gets to half-back. Stanfield takes a comfortable mark there. Outside range, though. Footscray need a goal in a hurry because North Melbourne has all the momentum. Wallace, they've conceded a lot of ground here. They wouldn't want to miss it. A free kick will come back to Wallace. Pushed in the back. And he'll take it in the heart of the centre. Former captain of the club. Played a lot of footy, 220 games up to now. Croft out wide. Goes to half forward. Stanfield his target. Punched away by Laidley. Liberatore and Stevens. Should be a terrific duel, those two. Stevens has played a number of consecutive matches with the club and picks himself up and hands it back. So Footscray within 40 metres of goal, trailing by 19-6, 13 points behind.
Danny Southern, who started on McKernan, has gone over onto Darren Crocker. As we said, Croft going on now to McKernan.
Osborne nearly a second chance, but Schwass dives on the football and holds it in for North Melbourne in their back pocket. So from Footscray's point of view, a quick kick out of this ruck contest could get them a score. It's only about 20 metres from their goal. You can see Ischenko and Grigic striving for front position. Big Alex gets his left hand to it. Stevens, little kick. Blakey bumped off the football, but it trundles over for a throw-in. John Blakey, 169 games. What a terrific player he's been with Fitzroy and now with North Melbourne. Boundary throw-in. Ischenko and Grigic bashed forward by Stevens. Chance for King. Hunter held by Ramiro, and Hunter will take the free kick for Footscray. Mark Hunter, a prolific kick gatherer for the Bulldogs, kicks in towards the right forward pocket area. Up high there was Archer. Gathers the football, he's caught, gets the hand pass away, and Schwass does the probably the safest thing in that situation and runs it over. 3-1 to 1 goal.
Chris
North
Grant
Melbourne
back in the
lead.
square, Robbo.
Shenko, Grigic to get set. Shenko won the tap. Schwass tried to barge his way through. Liberatore on the top of it. With him, Stevens. And it's been a battle between those two in this early part of the match to see who gets hands on it first after a throw-in or a bounce down. Little Libber, who won that Brownlow medal in 1990. He's got the complete set, hasn't he, Libber? Morrish, Gardner, Brownlow.
And played football with North Melbourne.
Sure did. He's seen a lot of footy over the years, hasn't he? So has Blakey, as Robbo mentioned a moment ago. What a veteran he is now as he kicks to centre wing. Ramiro with an opportunity. Croft was there. West got it out to Stanfield. Footscray getting plenty of the football at the moment, but not turning it into anything, which is a bit of a danger. Chance here, maybe. Smith under pressure, got a kick away. It was smothered off the boot. Now Stevens again. A quick and hurried kick. Carey will attack it hard. Southern was in the front spot. Crocker's handball. Went without it, Allison. With him is Johnson, running it towards the boundary line. Only in his second match, and he was a bit lucky there. Just bounced inside the line, not ricocheting off, and no free kick.
And Crocker about to come off the ground for Trent Nichols, who's been missing for some weeks now with a stress fracture in the foot after what was a fantastic start to the season.
Taken away by Southern, in trouble, tackled by King. Good persistence there by the North Melbourne player in the direction of Stanfield, and he took a good mark in the finish. A bit too tall for Trent Nichols. Goes short, near the wing, looking for Grigic. Back there is Fairley. Steve Collinuk, just a fraction late on the scene, but the umpire, boundary umpire, will throw it in on centre wing.
Footscray continuing to change their rucks at centre half forward with Stanfield and Grigic.
And Crocker receiving some instructions from the coach. Stevens off the ground, bounces just inside the boundary line. And surely that'd be an estimation of what North Melbourne feel about Tony Liberatore, to give Stevens the job of tagging him for the evening.
Yeah, I'm just not sure whether it wouldn't be the other way round, Robbo.
Croft wins the tap, gets about 20 metres. Well played, Stanfield. Good grab. Cameron on the run, takes a chance. Blakey will run him down. Oh, put the pressure on, and a poor kick by Cameron. He made the wrong option. Fairly, well, this could really hurt to Rock. He should have taken it cleanly. He'll get a second chance. Could go away. Took a bounce very early on. Goes to fall forward. Carey gets set. Well played, though, by Reynolds. Chips in. Critics handball over the top. Away go Footscray. Good kick to Costa. The kick coming from Johnson. There West goes over the top to Croft. Croft goes to Stanfield. Really should have gone to Cameron. High tackle.
We'll get this on replay because this is an example of why Australian rules football hasn't mastered the art of tackling.
West wobbles one up towards the 50. Fairley goes hard. Rock's quick kick away. Squeezes it back into the centre. Scott West got a good one. Goes to Atkins. Atkins quickly. Didn't time the footy at all. Stretches Grant out wide. Collinuk has been quiet early. Looking for a free kick. Well played, Collinuk. Now he's a bit freaky, Collinuk. Could do anything, but it just bounced beautifully for Fairley, and he repels that attack and goes out to Blakey.
And goes very wide. Blakey couldn't take the mark. It's Atkins, a little hand pass through the pack. No value whatsoever. And fortunately for the Bulldogs, they're going to receive a free kick, and it will be taken by Chris Grant. Now, Grant is 60 metres from goal. The player on the mark is just outside the 50-metre line. He's kicked to the square. Taken by Osborne. Great play, Richard Osborne. Goal, Bulldogs.
The game's most authoritative and respected panel, the Sports World Footy Panel, Sunday at 11 on 7.
Goals in a 6-minute burst towards the end of the opening term, and a quarter time they're 2 points in front. It's North Melbourne 3-4, Footscray 4 straight.
This match is part of the Foster's 1994 AFL Premiership season.
Well, Dipper, they make them hard at Hawthorn. Look at Alan Joyce out there as we look at Dennis Pagan for a moment, but Alan Joyce with no coat on and Terry Wallace alongside of him.
A la Tommy Hafey, Bruce, but if you know, once you join the media, you get a bit soft, don't you?
Exactly, the gloves.
Have a look at you.
The big coat.
Now, the wind has certainly picked up down here, but a lot of action has been off camera, and that is towards the bench, because they've made a lot of moves, because both coaches are trying to get a good balance of teams out there. And interesting, throughout the week, Alan Joyce has been practicing on goal kicking, because Footscray have had 59 more scoring shots than any other team in the competition. And tonight, well, 4 straight goals has kept them in front in this first quarter.
No doubt about that. They've really turned it around, haven't they, Gerard? Because when North got to 3-1 and Carey and Longmire were absolutely flying, they looked as if they'd dash away. What about this tackle from Mashenko that you mentioned earlier?
Well, you just noticed the way that Ishenko will come in with his arms up, rather than coming in low and grabbing him round the waist or even below. Even better, coming in round the thighs and lifting him up, rather like the rugby league tackle. And he gave away a free kick there, where instead it should have been going their own way.
Mitsubishi match stats for the first quarter. What's your arithmetic like, Gerard? What's 44 and 22, 45 and 21? I think it might be 66 apiece.
Brilliant, Bruce, brilliant. As usual, centre breaks are important too there even. So it is a pretty even first quarter, and good to see Footscray burst back into it. Good work off the field, as Dipper said, restructuring, getting Reynolds back onto Longmire. I think Croft's done well on McKernan.
Start of the second term. Friday night football at the MCG. Opening quarter full of highlights. 4 goals to Footscray, 3-4 to North Melbourne. Longmire with a couple. Osborne with 2 terrific goals for Footscray. Grigic goes off the ground. Fairley, who had a pretty good opening term, goes with the left foot out wide. Wallace and Schwass together. Wallace goes to the safety of the boundary line, desperate for it, and finds it at half back. Steve Wallace, who's played 16 games this year after only 4 last year, as we look at Ramiro and Nichols and Clarkson on the bench. So 3 of the small players for North Melbourne all sitting it out at the moment. Dennis Pagan going with these big guns out there in terms of height. Liberatore over the top of Schwass.
Croft doing a fair job for Footscray as a makeshift ruckman.
Wind, of course, their Brownlow medalists, injured and on the bench tonight, watching, fully clothed, unable to take part. McKernan's tap. Quick kick by Stevens, didn't go very far. Cameron kicks it out to wide, and did that bounce just in? No, it was out of bounds on the full. Ian Fairley to take it at centre wing.
So Fairley, looking down the ground, kicks in towards the centre half forward area, nearly marked by McKernan. Ball spills for Liberatore. He can't break clear. Still a struggle for possession. Southern gets his left fist to it and flicks it clear, only as far as King. King tries to get it for Campbell. In comes West. The ball's still in, then it just trundles over for a throw in at left half forward for North Melbourne. Scotty West in the picture. Played a terrific game last week against Collingwood. Dougie Hawkins itching to get off that bench. McKernan and Croft. Ball nearly to Rock. Kick forward by Stevens into the pocket. Nearly taken by Carey, being held, but he didn't have the football. And Carey will take the free kick in that left forward pocket for North Melbourne. He's well within scoring distance, but you can see he's outside the boundary line, so the angle will be a very difficult one. Having another look now at Crediuk. Carey didn't take possession of that ball and played it pretty well in the finish. Crediuk giving away the free kick. He'll be hoping that Carey misses. Wayne Carey's shot for goal. It is perfect. So Carey's kicked his second goal, and of course Longmire has kicked 2, and North Melbourne wrench back the lead, this time by 4 points.
You'll notice that Crediuk just does hook the arm around the Carey shoulder, and Carey helps it out, of course. But good players kick these goals under pressure. And certainly North have been under siege since the midway through the first quarter, so a good goal to their skipper.
Back in front by 4 points, North Melbourne, at 4-4 to 4 goals. Grigic to go with the Schenko. Schenko wins it again. in the path of Schwass, off the ground, gets a bit of distance in the end. Croft had to show a bit of courage to run against the flow. Gets a second attempt, was besieged by North Melbourne players. Costa kept his eye on it. Scott West, well, he got rid of one player with a sidestep, couldn't get rid of the other. Pressure then, good pressure again by North Melbourne, that time on Johnson. And North Melbourne, without really a clear kick away, have been able to force the ball inside their 50-metre line from the centre break.
Keep your eye on that young Johnson, a player who debuted last week and did an excellent job on the wing for Footscray. Obviously got plenty of talent.
Gee, Croft was given a shove by McKernan, who gives his second free kick away from a throw-in. Croft from half-back, as Robbo mentioned, not doing a bad job filling in for Grigic around the ground, doing some ruck work. Speaking of Grigic, he put his hand up. Now Laidley at centre wing, hooks it back towards Crocker. Oh, well done by Southern. He had to be careful not to give a free kick away. Crocker in the box seat, and he just brought the arm around.
There's been a couple of on-ball changes, Bruce. Rock's now picking up Libber, and Stevens and Cameron are running together.
Not the most fashionable-looking character, Danny Southern, but by gee, does a good job for the Bulldogs in his endeavours to try and stop the forwards from kicking a score. North Melbourne get it clear for Stevens. The kick slews off the side of his boot. Well done by Campbell. Gets back onto the right foot. Then kicks in towards full forward. In the Longmire direction. He's up and he's up and he's up. And he's taken the mark, Johnny Longmire, at 3 grabs. About 35, maybe a bit closer. Maybe 25 metres out directly in front.
I guess what, if you wanted to be critical, he'd be disappointed it was 2 grabs, but under that pressure, he'd be pretty pleased to get it in his hands a second time.
Well, if he kicks this, it'll be his 3rd goal before half-time. I think he's threaded it through. He has.
Jezza joins Rex. I'm Rex Hunt, and you're not. Sunday at noon on 7.
Back out as Gerard Healy summarises the first half, looking at the stats.
Well, it has been a very even first half, and really the only difference has been in the accuracy. Footscray 7-2 with 9 scoring shots, North Melbourne 5-5, and they trail. I think it's been a game played in fits and starts. Footscray just a little bit more consistent, and they are blocking the game up through midfield. They've had Osborne kick a couple of tricky goals that have inspired them somewhat after North Melbourne started the game in scintillating fashion. And I still tend to think that North Melbourne can rise a couple of levels and go on and win this game, but Footscray certainly have answered every challenge today.
And Krediuk, who looked pretty badly injured, running around the boundary line as the boys get a little excited at the start of the second half, Bruce.
Sure do. Hawkins in the forward pocket, 5-5-7-2. Friday night football from the MCG. Footscray leading. Hunter, good first half, very steady, goes to half forward. Osborne on a long lead. Schwass quiet in the opening half, had little effect. Goes back to Stevens, who was outstanding. Good mark by Stevens.
And Danny Southern started the quarter on the half forward flank, picked up by Ian Fairley.
Stevens sweeps it out to Archer. Archer had 3 goals kicked on him in the first half. Back to Stevens. They just clock up a couple more stats for one another. Carey, who I wonder if he's 100% fit. I don't know if he's moving really with freely at the moment as he's come back after half-time. Costa very well played. Southern was going to give a handball off. Got a quick kick away, not good. Here, Hawkins, you can see his reaction. He was unhappy there. Caught out when Southern under pressure was forced to kick short. Crocker from the back pocket to Stevens, yet another stat. He's had 12 kicks now and a couple of handballs. Neat looking kick to Campbell, cut off though by Watts. Well played, Martin, he read it well. Bangs it in towards the 50-metre line. Chance for Carey now. Big high ball to fall forward. Longmire at the back, Reynolds gets set, bounces, goes out of play. Dipper, what's happening on the boundary line?
Well, I've just spoken to the Footscray doctor, and young Stephen Krediuk looks like he might be a chance to come back onto the ground for Footscray.
That would be important, wouldn't it?
Yes, I just watched him there, Bruce. I made a comment that he was running reasonably freely, so he looks a little concerned there as we see him warming up on the boundary line. The boundary throw-in North Melbourne's forward area, Stanfield. He's caught, gets the hand pass away, but only as far as Carey. Carey's quick kick across his left shoulder. Longmire nearly took the mark. No, not paid. Liberatore gets it to Hunter. Hunter's hand pass only as far as Wallace. He's caught. Back to Liberatore.
Campbell hurt.
Campbell's copped a whack in the mouth, and the mark has been taken by Scholl 50 metres from North Melbourne's goal. Scholl for North Melbourne. Can he score a goal? He's going to kick it to the square. In front, terrific mark taken by McKernan. in front, on the chest in front of Stanfield, and still Campbell a little distressed after that whack in the mouth.
You just saw him cop a headbutt from Steve Wallace.
Important kick in the context of the game for North Melbourne from Corey McKernan. He kicks for goal and he puts it through. Corey McKernan becomes North Melbourne's third goal scorer for the evening. Longmire's kicked 3, Carey 2, and McKernan 1 for Footscray. Osborne is their chief goal scorer with 3.
There's Warren Campbell just clearing up the blood. Of course, umpires now given increased jurisdiction over the bleeding player's decision, and they can send them off at any time. I don't think it'll probably trouble Campbell.
6-5, 7-2. McKernan's first goal. Longmire's got 3. Carey a couple, so their big guns have scored the 6. Free kick to Grigic against Ashenko. Running in hard at him in the centre square.
16 free kicks to 9.
In favour of?
Footscray.
Thank you. Grigic to centre half forward. Osborne on a long lead. Didn't get that far. Fairly. Southern gets his hand on it. Was he going to go for the handball? No, he goes to Hawkins. He'll take it, the Hawk. Southern under pressure, blazing away. This time Hawkins in the right spot.
Well, he did get the ball down quickly, though, Bruce, and I'm sure Doug Hawkins would have appreciated that. He knew the ball was coming in, and he stepped back a couple of yards just to give himself some space, and he'll finish up with a pretty handy reply goal. Well, thanks for that, Doug.
Couldn't believe it. The Hawk can't. Hits the post, 7-3, 6-5.
And if you're going to scrounge goals, he had to scrounge that one.
Target there was Ian Fairley. Takes it at centre half back to Schwass. A couple of kicks now in the second half. I think that's all he had in the first half. Carey, the target, got out to that one all right. Still don't think he's 100%. Goes to Longmire. Good lead, good mark. Is he just too far out to kick the goal? You'd think about 5 metres too far out, right on the 50. He's going to go short, so he thinks he is too. McKernan, bouncing ball. He had to hit him on the chest. Reynolds gets a quick kick away to centre wing. Get the feeling the tempo of this game is about to rise. Martin goes to full forward with a high bomb. Carey sets himself, but didn't get up very high. Stanfield takes the mark at centre half back.
Well, I'd like to get Dipper's feelings shortly about the maybe the wind conditions. The players may be struggling a little bit to judge the football coming in towards the forward line. There's a terrific mark taken by Southern at right half back for Footscray, doing a pretty good job for the Bulldogs, Danny Southern. And he kicks it down towards right half forward, punched away by Archer, taken by Scholl, brilliantly gathered by Schwass. Schwass's left foot kick in towards the half forward area. Rock in front, gathers, can't break the Liberatore tackle, neither can Carey break Stanfield's tackle. The ball spills close to the line. It'll be taken over in the finish by Matthew Croft. And Dipper, what is that breeze doing?
Well, it's just it is a very slight wind, Robbo, but it's not affecting the players at all. The thing is, it is absolutely freezing down here.
Well, boundary throw in left half forward for North Melbourne. Comes back to Stevens. Stevens gets that left foot to it, kicks it across the face of goal. It bounces just inside the field of play. So we'll have a boundary throw in as we check Steve Krediuk's progress. Trying to just loosen up that leg injury that he suffered in the second term.
4 points the margin. Friday night football at the MCG. McKernan out of the air, was robbed there by Croft, who read it well, but McKernan gets it back, goes for goal, and kicks A behind. He's kicked 1-2, McKernan.
And at the other end of the ground, Wayne Schwass is playing like a ruck rover across the half-back line for North Melbourne. And obviously just trying to be a little bit more effective with the close attention of Costa, causing him some concern in the first half.
Reynolds goes in the Grigic direction. Ball hits the deck without Grigic and Ashenko doing much about it. Scholl got it from Ashenko. Centering kick. McKernan had to sit and wait. Croft went hard. Well done by Croft. Got it forward into the centre square. Osborne looking for a free. Got a fill and got one off Archer.
Krediuk back on for Grigic.
Osborne, normally a very long kick. He's right in the centre square. Hawkins at full forward. Southern at centre half forward. Now Aussie goes out wide with a neat-looking kick. Can Grant get into the action? He does. A terrific mark. He looked about a metre too far out of it. Launched himself at the last moment and got himself there to take a mark.
Crediuk's going over onto Carey. And I think you're right, Bruce. He just does look a little bit proppy.
Carey, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, Carey.
Yeah, I don't think he's... In fact, Dipper, keep your eyes on Carey for 10 minutes for us and let us know if you think he's 100%. Grant to go for goal in what is an important kick. He's going to kick from right on 50. Not bad, not bad. And they've hit the post again. Always looked a chance of just fading because it didn't have a lot of oomph on it, the kick, did it? It's Ross Smith to bring it back in.
You might think that they're not meant to win, the Bulldogs. 2 posters already in this third quarter. Ross Smith kicks in, goes straight down the ground. There's no one home for Footscray. Glenn Archer takes a pretty safe mark. Gets it away to Stevens, and already North Melbourne are into their forward half. His kick has been brilliantly marked by Johnson.
Not bad for a second gamer, Robert.
Terrific effort. His performance last week was very good, and his kick finds Collinuk on centre wing. Collinuk goes down towards half forward, drops in short. Not taking the mark there was Osborne, lost track of the football, then affected a heavy bump on Archer, and Archer may get the free kick.
Well, Richard Osborne was pretty incensed that he didn't get the free kicks. You see him indicating to the umpire he was smacked in the back of the head, which he certainly was by Glenn Archer. And I think should have got the free kick, but to no avail. Here you'll see the... Well, it was a bit like a Johnny Worsfold special, that one.
Ooh. Well, maybe the reaction. Didn't see the first thing and only saw the reaction. Carey punches. Kicked forward by Hunter. High towards the wing. Ball spills now. North Melbourne lead in the race, but it's knocked away by Steve Wallace. Collinuk gets his right foot to it. Taken, no. Missed by Schwass. Missed by Laidley. Taken by Costa. Gets it to Quill. Quill pushed, but got his kick towards full forward. Now it's an awkward bouncing ball, but Martin's held, didn't have the footy. And Mickey Martin will take the free kick. Chris Grant not happy, but Mickey Martin with the football for North Melbourne in the left back pocket. Have another look, and he didn't really have control of it. And Chris Grant grabbed him by the jumper. The kick out towards the wing. No mark taken by McKernan. Oh, kicking and danger against Stevens. And Scotty West will take the kick for Footscray. West now, 17 possessions, 18 coming up. And a pretty crude kick at the football there by Stevens. Kick forward by West. To the goal front. Punched away by Fairley. Ball spills for Collinuk. Hooks the kick. Bounces straight when he wanted a bit of a spin on it. And it registers a behind for Footscray, kick by Steve Collinuk. 1 goal, 1 to that player. Richard Osborne's kick 3. Quill's kick 2. The kick in a little too early for the central umpire, so it has to come back and be done all over again by Ross Smith.
Romero coming on for Campbell.
Fairley takes it from Smith, goes towards centre wing. Cameron with a fist away. Bouncing ball, Stanfield attacks it hard, can't break Stevens' tackle. Schwass, who's been good in the first part of the second half, runs away, tries a centering kick, going with it McKernan. Well done by McKernan. Longmire with a chance. Going hard is Johnson. They go toward the boundary line and out of play.
Schwass might have got a rocket at half-time, do you think, Jared?
Well, I think he probably would have, but he's an experienced player who wouldn't have been happy with his first half, and I'm sure he's got a lot of pride in his performance, and you'll see him finish off the game well.
7-5, 6-6 the score. Croft goes with McKernan. Liberatore, well done. Rock was there. Ramiro over the top. No free kick. McKernan got his hands on it. Ramiro under pressure, out of bounds on the full.
I think it's important, though, that coaches realise when players are struggling, it's not because they don't want to play well. It's because sometimes they just can't get near the ball, or the guy that's tagging them is just doing a fantastic job, and they must be helped out by shifting him into the back pocket or the half-back flank, or even up forward, as Dennis Pagan's done.
Fairley will get a free kick against Southern. Ball dropping short from West, and Fairley takes it. Had a terrific opening term.
Bit of an unsung hero, Ian Fairley.
He's done very well this year. I think a lot of people thought he might struggle. Oh, Carey well played. Stood his ground. Crediuk forced to go early in the end and fell into Carey's lap. Couple of goals already to Carey.
And another change for North Melbourne. Allison coming off for Nichols. Pretty similar types of players. Both haven't been able to get into the game as yet.
So Carey to give North Melbourne the lead. They trail by 5 points. Kicking for his 3rd goal. Right on 50 he'll kick from Carey. Goes back. Good looking kick. It's got it. North in front. 3 to Carey. And North Melbourne with both the goals in the second half.
The game's most authoritative and respected panel, the Sports World Footy Panel, Sunday at 11 on 7.
North Melbourne lead by a point. Some desperate stuff shown by Liberatore. The ball spills now for Stevens. He's had possession number 17. He's kicked towards half forward. It bounces away from Steve Wallace. Getting into the contest was Scholl, but not able to restrict Steve Wallace from getting it away to Hunter, and then Crediute. Crediute goes straight towards centre half forward. A contest back there, but it's picked off there by Ross Smith. Ross Smith carries the football wide out towards that outer wing. The bounce favours Blakey. He gets the hand pass to no one in particular. Johnson is there for Footscray, and a very good pickup too. Oh, skillfully gets past and then delivers with the left foot. Quill picked off the ball that had been touched off the foot. Stanfield has taken the mark, and he will kick Footscray into attack.
And they've moved Big Grigg into the square. McKernan's come down onto him.
Here's Grigic in the action now, Jared. A big grab and a terrific mark.
Well, that's good coaching from Footscray. Dennis Pagan counter-punched pretty quickly, but McKernan let him down there by really not punching away with enough aggression.
Kick 6 on this ground on a Sunday afternoon against Melbourne, Grigic, and a lot of them from the goal square that day. This occasion he's going to kick from about 40 metres. A score is important. A good kick. He's got it. Footscray back in front. And Jared, has been a similar pattern, hasn't it, in the 3 terms so far?
Well, neither side's been able to get a telling break, and this is a bit similar to North Melbourne's game last week when they were really level at three-quarter time to Hawthorn. Then they steamrolled away. But it's a little bit difficult to see that happening today with Footscray playing such excellent football to date. North Melbourne have gone up a cog, but Footscray's gone all the way with them.
So the bounce back in the centre, and Eschenko beaten for it by Stanfield, taken by Costa, picked off by Stevens. Stevens kicks quickly towards full forward, taken by Reynolds. He gets his right foot to it. It bounces out towards half back. Chance for Steve Wallace. Gets back onto the left, then the right, and the kick not bad by Wallace. And he finds Watts. Watts not quite up to the wing. Kicks with his left foot in towards the right back point of the square. It's Mark Hunter. Hunter runs down the ground and kicks towards half forward. In front, North Melbourne couldn't take the mark. Taken by Southern. Southern's left foot snapshot is very ugly, and it's out of bounds on the full. Danny Southern not too happy.
And North Melbourne have now moved Ian Fairley over onto Big Grigg. It would have been robbing Peter to pay Paul, moving McKernan permanently away from the half-forward line, where he is now.
Cameron's big leap at the back. Archer went without it, gets a second go, eludes a couple of tackles, back to Laidley, runs off quickly. Laidley at half-back, goes to centre wing. Footscray 5 points in front. Ball goes to ground. Liberatore tries to spin out. Rock's got him. No free kick given. Cameron and Carey run into one another. Both best and fairest of the clubs last year. McKernan to Clarkson to Blakey. Not a good kick by Blakey. Wallace concedes ground and then concedes a free kick, I would have thought, to Ramiro. Not coming. Well, Jose.
Absolutely unbelievable.
How stiff is he? Well, he's...
golly,
He gave him both barrels, didn't he?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, no free kick, and Ramiro was 40 metres out now. Scholl runs onto it, gets a handball under pressure. Johnson running it towards the boundary line. The 18-year-old sees it safely over.
And a pretty costly decision, or lack of a decision, from the umpire. Even Doug Hawkins can afford a smile about that one, because from there Ramiro probably would have goaled.
McKernan gets himself into a good position. Blakey with a chance to score. He has. He's kicked the goal. North back in front. And that, Gerald, was a bit too easy, wasn't it?
It's a terrific goal-for-goal game. I mean, I don't know whether the tempo's there, but by gee, they're both having a real good go at it.
It's punch and counter-punch, but I've been impressed with McKernan's work at the boundary throw-ins. It wasn't probably his tap then, but he has been getting that left hand up both at centre bounces and boundary throw-ins, and getting clear taps away to North Melbourne's favour.
Well, Big Alex has got the run at it, but it's taken by Hunter. Kicks it wide, not quite wide enough. Schwass is onto it, kicks it quickly out towards the boundary line, and it trundles over for a throw in, and our intrepid boundary rider Robert Dipidomenico getting into the action as Steve McPherson prepares to come onto the field for Footscray. Ruck contest on centre wing. Steve Wallace dispossessed by Scholl. Ball finishes with Ramiro. His kick goes near the centre of the ground. Little tap on attempted by Nichols for Blakey. Blakey's got the football underneath. Then he gets the hand pass away. Not far enough. McPherson gets it to Johnson. Johnson, well done. Clears that congested area towards half forward. Thumped away by the North Melbourne defence. They've got a chance here. Scholl's into the open. Can he deliver? In towards half forward, a wobbly old punt kick. Spills now for Reynolds. Reynolds kicks quickly, but it's ill-directed, and the mark is taken by Blakey. Now Blakey runs on. The lead is provided by Rock. Rock nearly got it. Went back after it. Beaten for it by Liberatore. Tough little campaigner, Liberatore. Kicks it to a vacant wing area. Out there is Blakey. Beaten for it by Danny Southern. He's gone. Laidley's into the action. Spinning out of trouble is Crocker. And Crocker does well. Has a look upfield. One bounce. Steadies from 50 metres. Kicks to the goal front. Clears the players in the square. Punched away by Croft to the safety of the boundary line. And Footscray breathe a sigh of relief. Leon Cameron having a spell on the bench. Perhaps struggling a little bit. 6 kicks and 2 hand passes. North Melbourne lead by a point.
McKernan lays it down. Watts couldn't quite. Ramiro. Hunter. Taken by West. Tripped. Free kick.
Maybe it wasn't too bad, Bruce.
Well, we know what's happening. The books come out. Nichols has been reported for allegedly tripping.
Well, that's going to waste everybody's time on Monday night.
Exactly. Well spoken.
8-6 to 8-5. Back after he played in the reserves, didn't he, Nichols, last weekend, but missed 5 or 6 games with a stress fracture. Struggled tonight. It's been tough for him. In fact, his stats are 0-0-0-0, so he has been a big struggle.
Would you stop players doing that if you gave a penalty kick at the 50-metre line for the people getting the free kick?
No, I'm not sure we have to go to that. I don't even think it's ever was a real issue in football, but it certainly is at the present time.
Well, confusion here. I think Archer thought it was a Footscray free kick, and it's coming to Ashenko.
Good running here from Swass from the back pocket. He's now 50 metres clear of his man. He won't end up with it, but if he keeps persisting with that running, something will happen for him.
Ashenko goes in the Carey direction. McKernan from the side. Carey read it off the pack pretty well. Over the top, getting a quick handball away there was Crediuk, and held up. Footscray are containing again, aren't they, across half-back. They've been able to hold North Melbourne's free-flowing game up. And it is a cold old night, as the Dippers told us.
Of course, we can't blame Bill Dalla for the tripping decisions. That was initiated by trial by video.
West was held on to. No free kick. Ramiro goes for goal. Reynolds in front of Longmire. He's been
done a good job, Bruce.
Hasn't he?
Yes. Probably beat you to the punch there. I think you're probably going to say that.
Yeah, I mean, Longmire with 3 early goals, but Reynolds has held him up pretty well. Blakey, Croft, McPherson. Rock will sweat on him and look for something. McPherson gave it away to Blakey. Croft got over the top. Rock squeezes it back. Good kick, actually. McKernan.
Both of them did well out there, Blakey and Rock, to try and make sure, first of all, Footscray didn't clear it. But certainly now it's forced back, and now the boys have got North Melbourne boys have got a chance to kick a goal.
It's a jam at centre half back for North Melbourne with Clarkson and Swass and Hunter.
Well, what's happening here is Costa's trying to pick up Swass, and you're having a 2-on-1 situation with Swass going over there onto the other Footscray player.
Yeah, he's a pretty good kick, McKernan. He's a very good kick. It's his second.
Jezza joins Rex. I'm Rex Hunt, and you're not. Sunday at noon on 7.
Changed 6 times throughout the match, but a very good quarter for North when you see they kick 4-2 to 1-4 at 3/4 time in a tight one. It's 9-7 to 8-6. Alan Joyce getting his troops marshalled. Doug Hawkins, one of them, had this to say to Wayne Carey just on 3/4 time. There's been a fair bit of feeling. There's the Hawk coming across. King and Carey in the action there. Hawk pointing in Carey's direction. Carey running into Colin, walking into him there. And you can see there's a lot of feeling here as the 2 teams go to the break. Dipper, you must be feeling it down there, that a fair bit of tension and a fair bit of will at stake here between the 2 teams.
It certainly is, Bruce, and I did notice Dougie Hawkins ran straight up to Wayne Carey he probably said, Wayne, if you want to mess with the doggies, you're messing with me, because it is really tense here. Robbo did ask the question during the call. I can certainly tell you that both sides definitely want to win this game. And Footscray are looking very, very good. They're the bottom on the packs, and every time they're going for a mark, they're in front of the pack. And I've been watching Wayne Carey. Now, he's always 4 or 5 behind going up for a mark. So interested to see if he's OK, but I'll keep an eye on him and let you know, Bruce.
Come on, Dipper, give us a tip.
I'm going for Footscray. We're for North. I'm going for the doggies.
Good on you, son. Dipper on the boundary line there. Wayne Schwass, good third quarter. Got lots of kicks in that term. Now, this was the Credihook incident late, right on the siren, with a rock coming in very hard. And you saw what happened afterwards with Hawkins talking to Carey. And there's King and Credihook. Gerard, the match stats.
Yeah, well, North Melbourne certainly got more of the football that quarter, and you see it typified or on the scoreboard. Footscray should have been up there with them. They hit the post a couple of times, so they've only got themselves to blame. But you'd think from here North Melbourne would go away with it. But I thought that at the start of the game, and Footscray certainly showed a lot more than I thought they had to offer.
They got some grit, the Bulldogs.
Schwass has had his ankle very heavily strapped at three-quarter time, so we'll keep an eye on him. Friday night footy at the MCG, and another thriller. It's 9-7 to 8-6, 61 to 54. North Melbourne go to the right. Ashenko and Stanfield go. Ashenko had a second crack. Watts out of the centre. Stands up straight like Hunter when he kicks the footy. Gets it to half-forward. Here's Schwass, as I mentioned, heavily strapped on that ankle at three-quarter time. Squeezes it out towards the boundary. Colin, only a couple of touches, but to kick an important goal and got one on. And there's Wayne Schwass as we look up. Only a couple of kicks in the first half, wasn't it?
Footscray did kick 3-2 to 1-1 in the second term.
Going to that end.
The end to which they're going now.
Well, that would be enough if that was a repeat in this term to give them a narrow victory. Smith's quick kick out towards centre wing. Umpire went to ground. And you know, Footscray have played 3 times at the MCG this year. They've lost one match by a point, another by 3 points, and one by 3. So in their 3 matches at the G, there's been only a kick between them and the opposition on each occasion.
I don't reckon there'll be much in this either when the final siren sounds. I can't tip you the winner because I think it'll be very, very close. Alan Joyce coaching intensely. His Footscray charges, boundary throw in, right in front of the players' interchange area. The bash forward. It favours Blakey. He's run down by Hunter. That could be nearly a free kick. No. Here's a goal coming up to North. And Clarkson really should barrel this. And he does. Clarkson kicks his first goal. He came on in the third quarter. Blakey getting some pats on the back. He set it up. Terrific courage. Hunter rode him into the ground. Clarkson got the goal.
Yeah, it was like the old-fashioned rodeo with Hunter just riding Blakey into the ground. Blakey, a pretty good game today. He took Cameron out of the game earlier in the second quarter. There you see him setting that up. Good vision there. And a good finish by Clarkson.
Important handball by Stevens too. Was under pressure with a shirt front and kept his cool and his courage. 10-7, 8-6. Doggies need the next one, you'd say. This margin is the biggest we've had since that first quarter onslaught when they kicked 3 in a hurry. Mickey Martin charges like a ball out of defence. Carey thumped away from him. Taken by Rock. Goes to Longmire. Got it.
That's a fantastic kick there from Rock. Had to be pinpoint accurate, and it was. So much so that Longmire could take it on the chest.
Actually, it was quite good roving of the pack, wasn't
Excellent,
it?
yeah. Just got to Carey's feet.
Yep.
Carey did the job, brought it to ground. Rock was onto it like the classical piece of roving, but on his non-preferred foot, that was a great kick.
This to give North Melbourne the biggest margin so far in the match. But a big hook and a miss for Longmire.
Just got a bit close to the man on the mark there, but in a wider context, I think it's a real challenge for Footscray now, one of credibility, because they have only beaten sides in the final 8 on 3 occasions this year, Collingwood, Richmond and Essendon, and they haven't had a big win against one of the form sides of the comp.
And you're talking about bottom of the 8 there, aren't you, really, on what we've seen so far this year, Richmond, Essendon and Collingwood.
Yeah, they haven't been the really in-form sides, have they?
And at the moment, North Melbourne would be third favourite for the flag behind the two front runners, West Coast and Carlton. We saw the bench there, 10-8 to 8-6. So let's see what Footscray's made of here. They've shown plenty so far tonight. Stevens has been very good. Back to Schwass. Schwass long ball towards Carey. Carey sets himself, has a good look at it, couldn't quite take it. Coming away was Watts from half back. Into the centre, Grigic was brought underneath it by Fairley. Good mark by Crocker. Signs are good for the Kangaroos at the moment. Remember, they finished Hawthorn off last week. They've had very few close matches this year. When they've won by good margins. Carey's mark, outside scoring distance, goes to Longmire on the lead. Southern tries to cut it off, gets one hand on it. Taken by Johnson, swings the handball out. Reynolds has time to steady and should be able to use it effectively.
And he kicks it down the half-back flank region, and Watts has taken the mark. King arriving a little late. Umpire just allowing that to be classified as all clear. We have another look, not really much in it. Watts kicks towards the wing, taken by Grigic. Hand pass not quite good enough for Croft. He's been dispossessed, but in there is Kolonyuk. Gets it to West. West across his body, kicks in towards the centre of the ground. High flyer there was Blakey, big punch, taken now by Watts once again. Little left foot kick by that player, goes out towards the wing. Laidley, fairly good body work, and then attack to the advantage of Fairley. Fairley leaves it behind, but maybe he was grabbed or Laidley was grabbed. When they didn't have the football, it's Laidley's free kick, and it will go against Steve McPherson. And Steve, that's not going to win the football match for Footscray. Laidley with the footy. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Ball rebounds for Clarkson. Clarkson, a hook kick to the front of the goals. Longmire, great stuff. Body work, brilliant. Paid the mark.
Maybe just a little bit lucky. I mean, we have the advantage of seeing the TV, but it did look like it slipped through and hit the deck.
Well, Longmire's got the football. We'll have another look, Jared, for you. Would have been a free kick anyway.
Yeah, it'd have to be.
Longmire goes for goal, and he's got his fourth. So all of a sudden, North Melbourne open up what could be a match-winning lead, 20 points. At three-quarter time, they led by 7 points. So the Northerners have gone away from the Bulldogs.
Well, you can make your own minds up whether this ball hit the ground, but irrelevant at this stage because the goal's up on the board. The free kick should have been paid, and Leon Cameron's back on the ground.
Biggest margin so far tonight, 20 points it is. 11-8, 8-6. North have got a habit when they get a little run on like this, they can finish sides off in a hurry. Footscray have got to stay now and get the next one. Blakey, good tackle, Liberatore. Footscray need a supreme effort. Can Cameron give it to them? He's been on the interchange for a while. Good mark by Kolonyuk. Stood his ground well. Needs to use this effectively. Osborne's got it. It's good lead. Archer in late. Osborne unhappy with him. Archer right back on the mark. Now he's kicked 3 Osborne. He is a magnificent long kick.
He'd be a chance.
Yeah, he'd be an even money bet, wouldn't he? As coming off Stanfield and Hawkins coming back on.
Well, they do have to win the game, Footscray, and Cameron and Hawkins are the two types of players that can kick those goals.
Osborne sets himself, goes wide with that kick. It's long, but it's not accurate. Right there, forced through from behind. Footscray scramble slowly up to 8-7.
2 posters they kicked in the third quarter, Bruce, could prove costly for Footscray.
And just the one goal, Robbo, since half-time, so it has fallen down for them.
They hurt you more than just on the scoreboard too, don't they? They really can deflate you.
Well, they were at a critical stage for Footscray.
Hawkins was the bad miss, wasn't he? Grant's kick wasn't too bad when he hit the post, but Hawkins was a gimme, you thought.
See, this guy's played a terrific game, Stevens.
Hasn't he? And Fairley's been pretty good too. He was in that exchange of handballs. Grigic sets himself, takes a good grab. Had his eye on it all the way. Back to Cameron. Cameron swings it wide. Good play, I would think, for Wallace. Good mark. Trouble out at half forward with what looks to be a knee injury. We'll pick it up in a moment.
Kolonyuk.
It's Kolonyuk as Liberatore wobbles at the centre half forward. Ashenko underneath it. Grant unable to get into the action. Hasn't kicked a goal all night, Chris Grant. He's been quite disappointing. Good mark to Croft. And Kolonyuk being carried from the ground, so that's rotten luck for Footscray. Kolonyuk coming off. Now Croft outside scoring distance, goes to the pocket. And nothing there. McPherson using the body, but Archer taking the mark.
And once again, the value of having a tall marking player in the square not apparent there for Footscray, and Osborne being forced to lead into a low percentage area.
Well, Chris Grant's got to take a specky somewhere, doesn't he, Jared, and kick a couple of goals in a hurry, you would think.
He's not that sort of player, though, Bruce. Rather than out in front or on the ground rather than in packs.
Here's Fairley.
His kick goes in towards the centre of the ground. Marking contest between Carey and Krediuk. Gathered by Clarkson. Hand pass away for Stevens. Stevens now 26 possessions. The kick is awkward. Knocked away by Rock. Longmire into the path of Allison. Another goal coming up. No. Hand pass too severe for Blakey. Gets back onto that left foot and kicks into the square. Longmire's taken the mark. Much to the delight of the North Melbourne fans at the MCG this evening. Longmire, who's kick four, can really signal Footscray's death knell.
Poor kid's in a lot of pain there, Colin.
Bad luck for Footscray.
Just doing a few ligament tests, and the way he's squirming in pain there, you'd say there's been obviously a lot of damage. It just goes to show the cost of poor handball there. Nearly cost North Melbourne a goal.
Longmire kicks his fifth. So the result now, not in doubt. North Melbourne will win this game, even with 12 3/4 minutes left. They've kicked 3 goals to start this last quarter, and Footscray yet to answer.
And let's have a look to see what happens to Collingwood. Just planted his left foot, twisted. So simple that one, wasn't it? Unbelievable.
North Melbourne have kicked 7 goals since half-time. Footscray have kicked 1. They're right on top now. Stevens held on to out of the centre. Cameron goes to fall forward with a low one. Archer worked out of it by Osborne. Free kick to Archer.
Free kick down the
sorry, to Grant. Well, that's a turnover, a big one. So Grant with a chance against Martin. Hasn't kicked a goal tonight. Just has to score here to give them even a glimmer of hope. Good-looking kick. He's got it.
The 8 take shape. Hawthorn and Carlton, Melbourne and Essendon on Saturday replay tomorrow at 6.
Need to feed the ball to their forwards from the centre bounces. Vigishchenko and Grigic taken by Quill. He kicks Footscray towards half forward. In front, Fairley, punched away, Laidley, Fairley again into the action, knocks it back, Atkins, gives it away to Clarkson. Clarkson's kick across his left shoulder towards half forward. Grigic, sweeping hand pass for Wallace. Wallace a little kick, too high, it'll be punched away easily by Fairley on Croft, and his tackle was pretty good, but he gets the handball to Grigic. Grigic from a pretty well standing start, kicks into the pocket. Archer goes for the safety of the boundary line. And as we see poor Steve Kolonyuk on the stretcher, Dipper has a report on the boundary line.
Yeah, just back to the doctor, and bad news for Footscray supporters as Steve has done a medial ligament at this stage, so let you know a little bit more later on.
Martin thumps it away. Cameron in a position to score. Brings it back right there. Smith in the front spot. Hawkins at the back and behind. Footscray get within 3 goals. 12-8 to 9-8. Cameron getting some touches in the final turn. Well, there's time, isn't there? 11 and a half minutes for 3 goals. But they've taken a long time to get 9 and even longer to get 2 in the second half. 7 goals at half-time. Smith short. Blakey's been very good, Blakey. Kicked a goal early on.
North Melbourne would have to go AWOL, I would think.
To lose, you reckon, Robert?
I would reckon.
Blakey out wide. West. Still West. Pressured out of it in the end by Scholl. Grant gets a crack at it, goes to ground, handball too hot for Costa, to Cameron. Oh, fit of the fumbles, still a fit of the fumbles. Goes to ground, cut off by Schenko. How symbolic of the second half. The Southern hip and shoulder into Big Alex was a beauty. It looked to be very fair. Oh, Alex doesn't think so. Danny Southern getting back into him. Schwash goes back to full forward, setting himself Longmire. At the back, taken by Carey, high tackle, free kick. Krediuk hates the decision, but it looked to be there.
See, that's passion, isn't it? The defender trying to hold it up.
Closed eye, no, isn't he, Credial?
Yes, well, he fought his way back. He looked as though he was pretty badly hurt with that leg injury. It was too high, yeah. But the passion is there, Bruce, and I think the coach would be fairly impressed with that.
So was the clash of the heavyweights in the middle. Danny Southern,
a terrific bump.
Schenko was an absolute beauty. There's nothing wrong with that. Both the elbows tucked in there. It was just a good, solid bump.
Carey to kick his fourth, and you think to close off Footscray's hopes. He's got it. It's not a bad sign, is it, Jared, when Carey kicks four in what hasn't been a dominating game at all by his standards. I mean, he's only taken 4 marks, and 4 goals, a very good contribution, isn't it?
Percentage, he's been very much a percentage player tonight.
He does create a lot more goals. Like you think back to that one where Rock picked up the ball from his good work, bringing the ball to the ground and giving it to Longmire.
So Schenko and Grigic go at it again. Stevens knocks up, getting another touch. Carey tries to knock it on, but it's bashed clear by Crediuk. Up high was Rock, taken by Grigic, gets it to Liberatore. Liberatore, a bit of an up and under there by Tony. In towards half forward, makes it fairly easy for North Melbourne defenders to knock it away. Croft leaves it behind. Fairley's been terrific. Kick, very good. Bounces just inside the boundary line, then goes over. As the players disentangle on the 50-metre line, boundary throw in about 80 metres around from the Footscray goal.
The midfield for Footscray's also probably let them down a little bit with Libba and Cameron and Atkins all having pretty quiet evenings.
9 3/4 minutes left. Osborne couldn't take the mark. The ball spills to the back. Schwass will carry it wide. Player out there on his own as Scholl. He can get around onto his right foot, then kick in towards centre half forward. Marking contest. It's punched away by Southern. The ball spills for Allison. The 233s. Young Johnson, the Footscray player. Now in comes Watts. He's happy to see it over. The pressure, well, not pressure, but just being attended there by McKernan. And a throw-in will take place. Dennis Pagan doing his job to the nth degree. His team leads quite comfortably, but he's still looking on intensely. Liberatore, now Campbell for North Melbourne. He's kicked to the front of the goals. Longmire punched away by Reynolds. The ball spills for West. He gets his fist to it. Taken by Allison. Snapshot by Allison. Misses to the left-hand side. And through for what would be only Brett Allison's second score for the evening. He's kicked 2 behinds.
And he is a goal kicker, isn't he, Allison? Got 5 in one match this year, 4 in another. Reynolds wide. Good kick, gets to Crediuk. Looked badly injured in the opening half. Looked like a high Achilles, lower calf, but he came back. Grigic was going to go with a handball to Cameron. Now goes. Cameron can run on. A quick bounce, a second bounce, running very wide. Goes for goal. Right there. Big fly. Great mark by Grant. On his chest in the end.
You wonder whether that's an uplifting thing that could get Footscray over the line, maybe?
Well, they're just so far back now, Robbo, aren't they? They're not 2 goals behind, they're 4 and a bit.
It'll be uplifting if he can thread this one, but it was a great individual effort by Grant there, because he started to lead up the middle of the ground and had to come back with Cameron bouncing so many times.
It's close, I think he's missed it. Got it! Goal! So Grant kicks his second, and still a sniff. You know, there's probably a 10-to-1 chance, to be honest. 13-9 to 10-8, but there's still a chance.
As we said, Grant would certainly have to go bang-bang, or Richard Osborne perhaps, but good individual effort. I said before, he doesn't take marks in packs. Well, probably wasn't a pack, but it was a pretty good overhead job.
Chris Grant's second goal, Footscray's 10th, but they still trail by 19 points. Ischenko gets it down to Scholl. He's tackled well by, guess who? Tony Liberatore. The leading tackler by about 20 in the competition is Libba. Great little goer. Brownlow medalist. Gardner medalist, Bruce has already mentioned, and also the Morrish medal. Grigic up high, but it's knocked forward by Ischenko. Stevens kicks to the full forward line. It clears the players back there. Carey contesting with Crediuk. Carey knocks it back. Longmire may get a goal. Handball over the top. Allison back onto the right foot. Snapshot by Allison. Elementary, my dear Mr. Allison.
She wasn't Carey good there. Made something out of nothing, didn't he?
It was just another one of those little things that he won't get much of a rap for, but that's a couple of goals he's been involved with in this last quarter. Well, he hasn't kicked them, but he certainly has created.
It's wonderful play. The ball seemingly out of play. Back into Longmire, and
just another poor handball. That's two of those in this quarter that almost cost North Melbourne a couple of goals.
well, they're home now, aren't they? 14-9 to 10-8.
Just wonder when the captain, Scott Wine, comes back into the side, what they'll do with Grigic, because he really is a talented big man, both in the ruck. I just wonder whether they'll use him in the square as the big man waiting back for the mark, with Grant doing the leading.
25-point margin. Stevens tries a big thump. North Melbourne get it forward, though, through Campbell. Carey. Wallace. Blakey onto him. Oh, gee, that looked... Well, maybe kicking in danger. Didn't matter. West to centre wing. Neat kick. Croft. Acosta brought to ground. No free kick. I think he thought he was going to get one. Schwass applauded by Laidley. And a throw in. So big second half for Schwass and for North Melbourne.
Kicked 5 goals North to Footscray's 2 so far in this last quarter.
Well, they were restricted, weren't they, very much for the first 3 turns, but have been able to open up a bit in this last quarter. Clarkson's little kick, a rock, I should say, only as far as Blakey. Throw in at centre wing. Grigic. And we look at the North bench with Ramiro and Nichols. Southern doing the ruck work. Rock's quick kick up towards half forward. Carey goes at it. He leaves it nicely for Scholl. Scholl's quick kick to fall forward. Longmire getting set. Goes to the one hand. Allison. Will he kick his second in a couple of minutes? Still with Allison. Brings it back. Hooks it back. Longmire behind. So Allison's got 2-3 tonight. Been busy in this last quarter. 1-3, I should say. I was looking at McKernan for a moment. 1-3. Busy in the last term. 14-10 to 10-8. 94 to 68. North Melbourne consolidating 3rd spot on the ladder. And Footscray go back a bit to the ruck after this tonight.
And the Kangaroos would be a chance to challenge Carlton, because Carlton, in the remaining rounds of AFL football, do have a bye. So they only trail Carlton by 1 game. Here's Scholl's kick towards full forward, nearly taken by Longmire. Allison, now Rock. Hit the post. So Footscray with 2 posters in the 3rd quarter, and North Melbourne with that poster kicked by Anthony Rock. Nearly the ledger squared away as Keenan Reynolds prepares to kick it back into play for Footscray. Gets good distance, well outside 50 metres. Punched away there by Carey. Kick forward by McPherson. The kick in towards the centre. Croft, then Fairley. Eschenko, taken by Cameron. Can't break the tackle. Through goes Scholl. Handballs to his opponent in Croft. Croft kicks in towards the forward pocket area. Archer and Osborne. Grant stands his ground. It was terrific stuff. Mickey Martin, there's no necessity for any of that rubbish. And Grant may get a free kick. He is. Little technical, but Chris Grant didn't deserve any remonstrating at all. The football was out of bounds. Now it's with Grant, who's kicked 2. Probably both in the last quarter, are they, Bruce? So Chris Grant getting some goal scoring alongside his name. Chance to kick a goal here. Goes for the short pass. Missed by Croft. Laidley grabbed, didn't have the football. Laidley will take the free kick for North Melbourne.
Well, double mistake, wasn't it? Gave away the free kick after missing a mark. Through disappointment, I think, the free kick in the end. Laidley from half back. 14-11 to 10-8. Out to centre wing, McKernan's big fly. Cameron West. Ricochets off Quill. Martin's little kick. I don't know if Mickey Martin's hurt himself there. He might have. He's on the ground. Let's hope he hasn't for North Melbourne's sake. Carey as well. Gee, a double blow. Martin on the ground and Carey. We'll keep an eye on both of those. Carey has picked himself up, and so's Martin now. McKernan's handball was cut off by Quill. Southern tried to thump it forward. Now Scholl at half back. High ball. And close to the line, bouncing just out And out of bounds. There's Carey.
He's done his AC, John, I'd reckon.
Gee, what a blow for North Melbourne with 3 minutes or 4.5 minutes remaining. Safely home and hosed. Carey in a bit of strife. Goes short. Krediuk takes it at centre wing. Across to West. Oh, bad play by West. Just had no sense of McKernan coming in there. Grigic goes back to Reynolds. Again, bad play by Footscray. Picked up by Nichols towards the pocket. And running it out now is Johnson.
West has been a player that's been important in this the result, because he was dominant up to half-time, but has been fairly quiet in the second half. Stevens got well on top of him, and you see there Carey getting a very hard knock straight to the shoulder, and that is the mechanism normally of an AC joint strain.
Official attendance 32,845 tonight.
North Melbourne get the ball back towards centre half forward, but a good mark taken by Grigic. And the heat probably gone out of this game now. North Melbourne leading. They're 14-11. Footscray 10-8. And a good mark taken by Blakey. And I cannot sing this man's praises too highly. I just think he's one of the most unfashionable, dour doers of what the coach asks him to do.
Carey coming off too.
Blakey goes for goal. He's already kicked one, gets terrific distance with this kick. Southern right on the goal line, thumps it over for a boundary throw in as Carey leaves the field and Trent Nichols makes a reappearance. Right forward pocket for North Melbourne. Carey talking to the coach's box. McKernan, snapshot for goal by Corey McKernan, is just offline. And he registers his fourth behind. 2 goals for to Corey McKernan. And dipper, Wayne Carey.
Yes, at the moment he is struggling, but he's straight on the phone here, Ian. I can't see they're trying to hide him from me.
Well, it looks like it's the AC, John. That's what Gerard seemed to think earlier on. He's obviously injured. You wouldn't be coming off with 4 minutes to play in a situation like this.
Well, if they're going to win the game, it could only be a bigger risk to leave him there, I would think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Safety first.
My word.
And he is the one player that has to be fit in September for North to have a chance at winning the premiership. Blakey gets it back from Rock. Another stat for Blakey. He's had plenty of them tonight. Goes to full forward. Clarkson swooping on it. Good last quarter for Clarkson. His second goal in the final term. And North Melbourne 15-12 to 10-8. And without being cruel to Footscray, Gerard, this is about what you reckon with both teams at their top, the margin between them at the moment, about 5 goals.
Yeah, I don't think it's been cruel at all. Footscray's made a major leap forward this year, but I don't think they're quite there with the big guns at the present time. Your Carlton, West Coast and North Melbourne. And this result has only confirmed it.
Six goals to 2 in the last quarter in favour of North Melbourne so far. There's still 3 minutes left. Big Ilya Grigic preparing to contest the centre bounce with Alex Ischenko. Big Alex got his fist to it, but Ilya's fist was stronger towards the centre half forward position. Cameron kick with the left foot. Good mark taken by Krediuk. He's copped a whack in the eye and a crook leg injury in the second term when he didn't look as though he's going to come back onto the ground. So he's done pretty well, Steve Krediuk. He's kicked towards the goal square. Grant, Grigic, taken by Quill, dumped by Schwass. Ball spills over for a throw-in. Left forward pocket for the Bulldogs. And now, Dipper, you've been able to check with Wayne Carey.
I certainly have. He doesn't look distressed at all. The doctor said everything's okay, and his shoulder's been nice for the last 30 seconds.
Grigic on point, coming off a North Melbourne player in the end. 10-9, 15-12. 102 to 69. It's got to come back. The goal umpire hadn't completed his task. Ross Smith, who's kicked in intelligently tonight, some short, some long, but they've, I reckon, 95% of the time found their mark. He might have missed once. Can't remember him doing it. Laidley in the back pocket. So the clock ticking over, and Robbo was dead right. The real stingers left this game now, with North Melbourne kicking 10 goals to 3 in the second half and 6 to 2 in the last quarter. Atkins, very poor match from him. Now Hawkins gets it at 45 metres, goes on the left foot and kicks a goal. Dougie kicking a goal late in the match.
It's unbelievable. Dougie's just whipped it onto the left foot from 45 metres. It's like he's putting a coaching clinic on.
He's a very talented player, Hawkins.
And that's the reason that missed goal was even more amazing when it really counted, I think,
very
in the
critical
third quarter.
stage, yep.
Yes, look at this. Just goes onto the left, and he's at 48 metres.
Yeah,
straight through for a goal.
your average player, make no mistake about this, would have gone back onto his right.
Sure. Well, he's got a bit of talent, hasn't he?
A little bit there.
Yep. The bounce back in the centre. It's taken now by Croft. Gives away a little bit of ground. Cameron's had a few touches in this last quarter. His left foot kick towards full forward. Grant interfered with. Quill will get the goal anyway. Peter Quill's now kicked 3. So Footscray finishing the game off. They've kicked the last 2 goals. Quill 3, Osborne 3 and Grant 2 are their leading goal scorers. They've kicked 12-9. North Melbourne 15-12. It's 21 points in favour of North.
And Footscray a far better side. Where they're getting the Cameron drive from the middle. I thought Grant could have got a free kick there. I was just looking up the record that North Melbourne play Geelong next week. Now, the doctor may say Carey's shoulder's OK, but I'm sure if he's out there, Geelong will certainly give it a test out next week.
Grigic gets it down to Hawkins. Hawkins again off the left foot. The mark taken by Costa. Costa forces it high. Sets it up for North Melbourne defenders to punch it away. Crediuk fighting hard. Gathered by McPherson. Sweeping hand pass for Atkins. Atkins over the top, gives it away. Laidley mops it up for North Melbourne. Kicks it clear, not quite far enough. Croft is going to get a possession. Little kick by Croft is awkward for Quill. Stevens is into the action. Quill forced to knock it close to the line. Then his little tap back taken by Fairley. Fairley's high kick out towards the wing. Campbell held, didn't have the football. In goes West. Rock is there, and the umpire will bounce on centre wing.
Half a minute remaining. North Melbourne 15-12 to 12-9 by Footscray. Hawkins, quick kick inside 50. Crocker on his chest against Quill. Crocker at half-back. North about to win their 3rd consecutive match. They've done that a couple of times this year. They started with 3 wins in a row, won every match between 7 and 9, and they've done it again here. Grigic gives it off. Up towards half-forward. Costa takes the mark. Seconds ticking away. In fact, tick away to the point of the siren sounding, and North Melbourne win by 21 points in the end. 15 goals, 12 North Melbourne. Big last quarter for them for the 2nd consecutive week. And Footscray with a couple of late goals, making it respectable at 12-9. Well, there's Carey. They've got Geelong next week, and then they've got West Coast in Perth on the Friday night, so his fitness is absolutely critical. Danny Southern, who admitted on television during the week that he had a rough old head when he was interviewed. Mickey Martin.
Are you disputing that?
No, I just said the guy admitted it. Mickey, not many blokes do. And the big Dipper's down on the not on the boundary line. He's in the heart of the battle with Anthony Rock. Dipper, all yours.
I certainly am, Bruce. Anthony Rock, well, what a terrific game from North Melbourne once again tonight.
Oh, it was excellent, excellent win, yeah.
A real tough game. What we saw, a lot of tension out there.
Look, we knew it was going to be really hard from the outset. I mean, Footscray's aggression, you know, all we had to match their aggression, and I think our skill level and ability is a bit better than theirs, and I mean, it was a tough game right to the end, and you know, we're pleased to get out of it.
Yeah, like last week, up to 3 quarters, a tough game, and tonight 3 quarter. What did Dennis Pagan say to the boys at 3 quarter time?
Oh, look, it is really the old adage, you know, 2 forces pushing together, and surely one's going to crack sooner or later, and he just didn't want it to be us, so, you know, I'm really wrapped.
Hey, Bruce, 2 forces pushing together. That's fantastic.
It's a lovely one, isn't it?
Hey, good luck, mate, and good luck for next week.
Thank you.
Jezza joins Rex. I'm Rex Hunt, and you're not. Sunday at noon on 7.
Powerful after half-time when they kicked 10 goals to 5. Comfortable in the end because they did lead by 5.5 goals late in the game. It was 15-12 to 12-9. Longmire kicked 5 and Carey 4. And Quill got 3 for Footscray, along with Osborne, who got his goals in the opening half.
The 1994 AFL Premiership League Ladder. Brought to you by Foster's.
North nice and solid, aren't they? In 3rd spot at the moment on the table, consolidating. Footscray slipped 1 place tonight. Richmond took their place, but It's a real traffic jam at the bottom half of the top 8, and as we look at the matches tomorrow, they're very important. Carlton and Hawthorn, a beauty. Melbourne against Essendon. Well, desperation for both teams, really. St Kilda, a chance to upset Brisbane's plans of making the 8. And then on Sunday, that big live game into Melbourne, Geelong and Adelaide, Ablett on 95 goals, and the 200th game for Paul Couch. Fitzroy against West Coast, Richmond and Sydney, a must game for Richmond if they are to make the 8. Collingwood have the bye. So the situation here tonight, North Melbourne, too good in the end. They beat Footscray by 21 points.
Well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. I got a long road to walk down to catch a tram to my favorite ground. Use my legs, use my voice, make some noise, support the boys, and that's what football means to me. That's how I like my footy to be, and well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's
This has been a 7 Sports production.
football.